In 2019, Sergio Patamets waited near a watering hole in Tanzania's Serengeti National Park. The wildlife photographer wanted pictures of migrating zebras. When he noticed a pale zebra arrive with its herd, Patamets thought the animal was just dusty. However, when it entered the water and the dust stayed, he knew he was looking at something special. So-called blonde zebras remain a mystery. While they exist in captivity, these suspected albinos were a rumor in the wild until the Patamets photographs. The extremely rare condition is thought to be partial albinism, resulting in pale yellow stripes and manes. Captive zebras are skittish, making genetic tests difficult. But thus far, the blonde animals behave like normal black and white zebras. They are fully accepted by their herds, with whom they bond and even reproduce. As the specimen in Tanzania proved, they can also survive into adulthood in the wild. As researchers cannot agree about the reason for zebra stripes, they do not yet know if yellow zebras face any special challenges because of their condition. Nestled between the towns of Casorzo and Grana in the Piedmont region of Italy stands a natural oddity. Locals call it the Albero di Casorzo. It is a cherry tree standing on a mulberry tree. The latter is an old, gnarly customer, and the cherry's growth had somewhat flattened the mulberry's crown. This phenomenon calls the top tree an epiphyte. Such passengers are not parasitic and do not feed on the tree below. Instead, they get their energy from the sun, the rain, and the debris surrounding their roots. What makes the cherry tree so unusual is its good looks. Normally, epiphytes are short-lived and stunted because they struggle to get the nutrients they need. The cherry tree is fully grown and handsome with health, resembling its brethren that grow on land. Its roots likely snaked down the mulberry's hollow trunk and grew into the soil below. It remains a mystery as to how the two trees merged. The most plausible theory suggests that a bird dropped a cherry pip onto the mulberry. Nobody knows why the birds left Madagascar. This ancient migration ended when the white-throated rails, Dryolemus cuvieri, found a new home among the Seychelles Islands. They landed on a reef called the Aldabra Atoll, a circular haven free of predators. As time went by, the peaceful existence caused the birds to lose their ability to fly. Around 136,000 years ago, floods engulfed the atoll and the flightless rails became extinct. For 36,000 years, the reef remained submerged. But as an ice age arrived and water levels dropped, the atoll resurfaced. Incredibly, sometime later, the same thing happened. White-throated rails left Madagascar, landed on Aldabra, and evolved to be flightless, thousands of years after the first clutch. For a single species to evolve in an identical manner twice and independently is known as iterative evolution. The phenomenon is rare, and the fossils from the reef remain unique. A cross sea is an unforgettable sight. This rare phenomenon seems to break the rules on how waves work. Instead of rolling in one direction or toward the shore, a cross sea looks like somebody took a pen and drew squares on the water. The squares are formed by waves coming from different directions. For instance, one set of waves follows the normal pull toward the shore, but a strong wind creates an extra set of waves going against them. This forms the perfectly square pattern. As spellbinding as it appears, a cross sea is hazardous. Two opposing swells hitting a swimmer or boat can be dangerously destabilizing. Another factor making the waves deadly is that they can appear within minutes. Worse, they often coincide with rip tides. The latter are powerful currents that few swimmers are able to escape. To top it off, a cross sea is more likely to develop near shallow coastal areas where people swim, surf, and enjoy the day in small boats. An extremely rare puma cub was recently born at a zoo in Nicaragua, and its eye-catching fur is drawing attention worldwide. Officials at the Thomas Belt Zoo, in Juigalpa, announced the birth of an albino cougar in August. 22 News release, sharing an image of the cub being carried in its mother's mouth. One of the cub's siblings can be seen as well, highlighting the stark difference in coat pattern and color. But if mom can see the difference, she doesn't appear to mind. We are taking all measures to be able to keep him as healthy as possible. Together with his mother, zoo veterinarian Carlos Molina told Agence France Presse, adding, "He is healthy. His body is in good condition." Albinism is a rare condition in which an animal, or a person, has little or no melanin. In addition to causing white fur, albinism often results in poor eyesight. Currently, the zoo is barring public access to the cub's enclosure, while focusing on ensuring its well-being and survival. the zoo said. Albino animals have increased sensitivity to sunlight, Molina says, and the mountain lion cub will need a great deal of care, Reuters reported. Molina estimates the cub is one of only 4 albino pumas in the world, he told the outlet.